This is another Infosol production.
All right, so to start off, we need to connect all the ideas. These are all the pieces of our country. Our country, at its top level, had 47 people vote to acquit Donald Trump. 53 people voted to convict him. All had the same information, but 47 of them decided, we don't care what the information is. We're just going to acquit him. Right. Okay. And this dude did more damage than Al Capone did. And they got Al Capone not on racketeering charges. They got him on tax evasion. That's how they put him in jail. Donald Trump, who cares? Well, yeah, you should care what charge he was charged with, because they should charge him with what he did. They did, and 47 people still decided we're not gonna make him guilty. We're gonna acquit him. Yeah, okay. All right. So we take that, we connect that to the Super Bowl. Super Bowl. For weeks, they talked about the Kansas City Chiefs and how they weren't beating teams up to win games, yet they continued to win games. And they were the champions. Every team threw everything they had at them. And at the end of it, they'd still win the game. So they talked about them bad. They get into the playoffs, their first game, what do? They go right out there and do what we all know they can do. They score 30 plus points. They win the game. And get to the Super Bowl, we got the referees winning the game. The referees with phantom calls, with calls that they're making against the Chiefs, but they're not making them against the Patriots. And the Patriots are doing the same things. They're not making the calls. And yet we have to watch and listen to the commentators talk about how the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have to do this on offense, this on defense to beat the Chiefs. Never any discussion about what the Chiefs have to do to win the game. But it goes along with how the game is being played. So I had children who played in 3 different categories of sports. And I can remember taking them to games or going with the team to games, and the home team has referees from their hometown. And they're calling bad calls. Everybody knows it. The parents know it. The parents on both sides know it. Yet there was never a moment where parents came out and said to the refs, look, call the game evenly. These children are all out here playing, and they're playing their hearts out. And if you're just calling plays for the home team to help the home team, look at what you're doing to the other children. So, from Little League to professional sports, if you make calls against a team enough, you change how they have to think about winning the game. Because they're not just playing against the other team, they're playing against the referees also. And it changes what they do. Henceforth, we see the Kansas City Chiefs score 3 field goals. This is a team, for 2 years or more, have averaged over 30 points a game. And they can only score 9 points for weeks. It was a build-up to Tom Brady. All this was scripted because it reads like a script. No, I wasn't in any NFL commissioners' meetings. No, I wasn't in NFL players' meetings or their union. No, I wasn't in any of those meetings. But I know what I see. The NBA is guilty of the same thing. LeBron James has won championships where he didn't really play to deserve winning the championship. But if you keep giving the ball to a team or possession of the ball to a team, then they have more chances to score. So, yeah, it makes sense that they would eventually win. You know, there was talk that they weren't making the odds in Vegas or the gambling. I'm not a gambler, so I don't know what that's all about. But Kansas City Chiefs weren't scoring enough points for them to make money, obviously. So we connect all these things. This is what our country is about. We're told who to cheer for. It's allowed for cheating to happen, all the way to the point of the president inciting a riot to overtake the election so that he can continue being president, and 47 people acquit him. It's all connected. It's the way we work in this country. It has to stop. We want to end racism. We're not going to end racism that way, because that's the way that money stays in certain hands and control. So, racism. Racism. I received a text message forwarded to me by my youngest daughter's boyfriend. Originally, we were under the impression that it was from his mother, but it turns out when I was ready to respond to it, he came forward and said it was him. And this is what the text message says. Hey, blank, the boy's name, stopped by just now, and all I have to say, if your daughter's father is to come near my son or even touch him or threaten him again, we will show him what white privilege can do to a black man. We have money, we have lawyers. We know what to do with him. I would be texting him, but I do not have his contact information. So relay that message, please, and thank you. So I left out the names. It's not important. This 18-year-old had been seeing my 15-year-old daughter, and he no longer is seeing her, but he had sex with my 15-year-old daughter. He's a graduate. He's 18 years old. He's out of high school. He's already graduated. But he thought, because of his skin color, obviously, my daughter is not white. He thought because of his skin color, he could use this tactic to keep me away from keeping him away from my daughter. That's what came to his mind. This is the country we live in. And it all connects. Donald Trump getting away with what he did. The rioters being able to storm the Capitol, and no one let off any rounds to stop them. There was not enough police protection to stop them. So, and I marched. Oh yeah, I marched this summer. So I did that. I did that not just for people of color, but for everyone. Because ultimately, there are white people who suffer just like black people do. The only difference is they have somebody they can point the finger at and say that they're better than them. But they're suffering just as much. It's what Donald Trump worked on. But it's not just about him. It's about all of us. If we don't stand up and say, we won't accept this, or we refuse to accept this any longer. Until we do that,
Enjoy.
it's going to be more of the same. It might change the way they make their approach. They might change the wording. If there's change, there will be. But the change will come slowly because nobody's really standing up. Oh, there's a lot who are, but not enough. But it takes all of us to decide we want a better world to live in. And it's not about our technology. Our technology has outgrown us. Literally, our technology could tell us the right thing to do, and we would still do the wrong thing. Because it's simple, right and wrong, in almost every situation. Not in everyone, but in most situations, right and wrong is easy to determine. It's not complicated, but we complicate it. We still work with legal systems that you can't even understand it unless you're taught to read it. We still make backroom deals when everything should be in the open and make sure everybody gets taken care of. We'll fight against ourselves as states. Donald Trump made us do that. We get a prime example of doing that. We'll fight against other states to have money for people in our state over whether those other people in another state get the same help. This world can be better. It's all up to us, every one of us. And to all you athletes out there, you get special treatment. You're not the only ones. There are entertainers who do the same thing. They get more help because they're favored over others who have the talent, who can bring more talent to the world we live in. It's simple. All we have to do is decide we're not going to accept this.
This is another InfoSol production.